Welcome back to Between Pages and Friends. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Con. We are long-distance best friends who started a Bookstagram, Book Talk, and BookTube page together. If you're reading Throne of Glass for the first time or the 100th time, check out our book club podcast here on YouTube. We release a new episode every Wednesday featuring a pronunciation guide, chapter recaps, thoughts and theories from first-time readers, a cry counter, and generally unhinged book club discussions.
Yes, and if you love said podcast and want early ad-free access to our weekly episodes, plus an amazing community and ton of other perks that come with it, you should join our Patreon. You'll receive access to our Discord community, merch discounts, our monthly book club, live events, and so much more. Also, visit our website, betweenpagesandfriends.com, for all of our cute new merch. You'll also find all the links to our page there with all of our resources and content.
Lastly, we are so excited to announce that the whole Between Pages and Friends crew will be attending Enchanticon 2025 as event influencers. We are so stoked to meet you guys in person. Enchanticon is being hosted in St. Louis, Missouri next August, and you can snag tickets online at enchanticon.com. And you can use our code FRIENDS15 for 15% off your Enchanticon tickets.
Ooh, I hope you guys come. I would love to meet you.
Me too.
Yay! Okay, let's get into our October reads. That is why we are here. This month, Connor read 6 books and I read 7. So let's just dive right in. We have officially, I love it when we do that in the podcast. Dive right in. Okay, we have officially finished the tandem read. We did it.
Hey-o.
Oh, I got mine too.
We read the books. We read the books.
That's a lot of book.
It's so much book.
That's
These are my copies from Target that don't match. If you can just take that in for a second. Bought them at the same time, and they don't match.
That's annoying. These are my copies from you, and that's why you had to buy your own copies, because I live 600 miles away and I have your copies.
Yep.
That I borrowed a year ago. We were just talking about a year ago.
Literally.
That's insane. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What a good friend.
And here we are.
Yes.
When we talk about how we're long distance besties, we are long distance besties. We haven't seen each other in a year. Before that, it was like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. It's hard. Like, I feel like we always say like, oh, we just go meet each other. It's no big deal. But it's like jobs and children and life and just all the things. And it's like we have 2 seconds to sit down. And then we're like, oh, dang it. I was supposed to be visiting her this weekend. We could have done that. But it's like the weekend's already happening.
Yep.
It's like I don't have the brain capacity to plan things. So
I know. And it's been 10 years since we lived in the same state.
Oh my gosh, that makes me feel old.
That makes me feel so old.
We met, 12 years ago?
Yeah.
Wow, look at us. I read somewhere that it was like if you're friends with someone for longer than 7 years, then it's a friendship that will last for forever. I was like, oh,
I've heard that.
Connor.
My soul friend.
Oh, that's so cute. Okay, for real though, we did finish the tandem read. It took us 8 whole weeks covering it in the podcast, and we did it. But it was awesome. Loved it. I gave both books 5 stars. I talk about it a lot. Obviously, in the podcast, I was a little back and forth on my rating for Tower of Dawn, but I decided the good parts outweighed the bad and still gave it 5 stars. The bad being the spiders. That's the only bad part. Everything else was great. I just hate spiders.
Everything else is great. Yeah. I also gave both of these books 5 stars on my first read and my second read. I'm not changing it. I love them. They're so good. And they're so different. I like reading them together because Tower of Dawn is so like character development driven and Empire of Storms is so plot driven that it's like, it's kind of nice to get both at the same time. But anyway, we've already discussed these 2 books for over 18 hours on the podcast.
That's a lot of hours. Oh
So
my
go listen to
God.
that for all the Throne of Glass content. Actually, I was uploading this week's episode on Patreon because our Patreon members get it a day early. And there's like a fake limit on Patreon for how much video content you can upload. Like once you get close to the limit, you just request an increase and it's free.
Oh,
But it
that's
told
weird,
me
but
that we
okay.
had, I think this was before I uploaded this week's episode, which was like 2.5 hours, that we had already uploaded 47 and a half hours of video,
That's
which is just the
insane.
podcast.
That is,
That's edited.
I was going to say, that's edited footage. Holy cow. We have talked about these books for 2 days straight.
Yes.
Nonstop.
Literally. It's crazy. And that doesn't even include Kingdom of Ash because I was just uploading the last tandem read episode.
Which is another
and we have 8 weeks.
episodes. Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah. So if you want Throne of Glass content, we got you.
Yeah.
We got you. There's so much of it. What are you waiting for?
The end of this episode. So let's keep going.
Yes. So we're starting Kingdom of Ash now. We'll be covering it for 8 weeks to close out the year.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It's like literally comes out the week of Christmas. So Merry Christmas.
Christmas Day.
Christmas Day. Aw, Merry Christmas, everyone. That's so fun. Okay. My next book that I read was Dungeons and Drama by Christy Boyce.
Cute.
I cannot express how much I loved this book. It's been on my TBR for forever, and Kyle and I had a random date night. Of course, ended up at a bookstore, and so I picked it up. Oh my gosh, it is just seriously so cute. I love this book with my whole heart. I've already pre-ordered the second book. I am ready to go.
There's a second book?
Yes, it's coming out in January. I cannot wait. And it's like a similar-ish cover vibes, but it's like a blue color, and then it's like a different couple, and they're with their own little hobbies and stuff. I seriously cannot wait. And
I love it.
I think I just related to the characters so much because my husband is a D&D loving nerd and I am a musicy loving weirdo. And we met and found like our happy place doing like Dungeons and Dragons and role playing and going to board game cafes and just like kind of living that nerdier side of life. And that's exactly what Nathan and Riley do here. And she wasn't really involved in the world and he kind of brought her in on it. And there was just some really cute things that he said. Like there was a moment where he said, "Oh, hey, I've been looking for you," in a very Rhysand kind of way. And I was like, "Oh, Nathan, you stop. You're 17, but I'm here for it." They're teenagers, so there's that. But the biggest, nerdiest thing that he said that I just really, really loved, what he was like, it's kind of like a fake dating type situation for a little bit in there.
Yeah.
She's trying to like help him look cooler for this girl that he likes type of a thing. They start kind of falling for each other. And he says, "Actually, this timeline is kind of growing on me," which is like such a nerdy thing. And I loved it so much. That's literally the most nerdy line in a whole entire life. And I'm so here for it. Right. Oh, this timeline is growing on me. Oh, I love that. Anyways, 5 freaking huge stars. If I could give it more, I would. Super recommend. Even if you're not a Dungeons and Dragons person, it explains all of it because Riley, the main character girl, is not a Dungeons and Dragons person. So it like explains it to her. So you're still fully understanding what's happening. And it's just, I don't know. It's just really good. I loved it so much. Super big recommendation.
So super big.
Super big.
I love it. My first read for this month was Astrid Parker Doesn't Fail by Ashley Herring Blake. Last month, I raved about Delilah Green Doesn't Care, and I immediately picked up book 2, which is Astrid Parker Doesn't Fail. I loved this one too, but I wasn't quite as smitten with it as I was with the first book. Ashley Herring Blake writes really dynamic and lovable characters, and I'm really excited to read the third book soon. It's called Iris Kelly Doesn't Date. I think it's a trilogy, or maybe those are the only books that are out right now, but it's so cute. It's really cute. I do really like this series a lot, and I like the way she kind of sets up the next book with the other characters in this little town. But I give it 4 stars. I did really, really like it, but I wasn't like a so freaking cute, I couldn't stop thinking about it kind of book like the first one was.
Yeah, that's okay. It's still good.
It's so cute.
Yeah. The next two books that I read were part of a series. The first one is called Hex Appeal by Kate Johnson. And so this was my Halloween read for the month of October. I tried to find at least one. I knew nothing about this book other than the literal word hex and assumed it was Halloweenish and went with it. It was in the romance section, said the word hex, sounded Halloweeny. So at first, I was really confused at what was happening in this book. It's really cute rom-com setup, small town, boy meets girl type situation. But they started, the girl's a witch. So they start going on these kind of weird little adventure side quest type things, and nothing really seemed connected. I don't know, just okay, we resolved all the issues. And then, okay, now we're in love and having our little spicy moment. And then, oh, here's another issue. Okay, we've solved that too. It felt very chunky. But then
Okay.
at the end, it was all revealed that it was all connected. And it was almost like a mystery book.
Oh.
It was almost like I was reading a mystery and I was supposed to be connecting clues the whole time. And when it all was revealed at the end, my mind was just blown. It was really cute. It's really good.
Cute.
I enjoyed it. I only gave it 4 stars because I think I was lost a little bit in there and wasn't fully invested the whole entire time. But I thought it was really cute enough that it made me want to jump into the next book immediately because I finished it so quickly. So I did read the second book. It's called Hex and the City, which is also funny, by Kate Johnson. And I only gave this one 3 stars. It had a very similar feel to it with I was saying, it almost feeling like I needed to connect all the dots to the end. So it was kind of fun because I knew to do that, I guess, a little bit more in my brain than just a typical rom-com. But I only gave it 3 stars this time. I think it just wasn't as surprising to me and some of the things. And I really enjoyed about the first one that it felt repetitive, I guess, in the second one. But there is a third book out there. I might read it next October. If I need a Halloween read. I don't usually read this Halloween specific outside of, October, I guess. But it was a really cute book, nice little rom-com, just the right amount of spice. I don't know. It was really good. So
love that.
Yep.
My next read for this month was Two Can Play by Ali Hazelwood. This is Ali Hazelwood's new audio first book. And it's only 6 hours long. So the print copies and ebooks haven't been released yet. It was just audio.
I've never heard of that before.
It was a Spotify thing. I don't know if it's Spotify exclusive because I think I listened to it on Hoopla. I think it was on Hoopla. But yeah, this was a new thing where it's audio first and the print and ebooks come out later, 6 months later.
I have never heard of that happening before.
I know, right?
Wow.
Yeah, so I saw a bunch of hype about it and I love Ali Hazelwood and the cover is super cute. The cover art is really, really cute. So I flew through this one. It's a 6-hour audiobook. I gave it 4 stars. I really liked it. I'm also a total sucker for video game designers, a story about I don't know, that's super random and niche, but I've only read a few books about video game designers and I ate them up both times. I freaking love it. Really, any kind of character pursuing some kind of creative career. I love books about that. But this was 2 video game designers from 2 different competing developers and they were forced to work together on a project. So lots of forced proximity, which
unfortunate for them.
Yes. And this was honestly, Ali Hazelwood could write this over and over and she kind of does and I still love it. But it's there's no way this man's impossibly large. He's so tall and huge. And this girl's impossibly tiny and she's so small. And he falls first and she thinks he hates her guts, but actually he's loved her this whole time. It's the same kind of formula, but it's just condensed in this little 6-hour audiobook. And it was just super cute. And it's really quick if you need a short book to help hit your reading goal for the year. Again, it's only audio right now. I'm not sure when the print's coming out, but I think it'll be in 2025. So that's a cute one.
I have so many Ali Hazelwoods on my TBR. I'm literally staring at 4 of them right now over there on my shelf. And I keep feeling I want to read hers, but I have to read her other ones first. And I don't know why I have that feeling. I don't feel like that for any other author, that I have to read them in certain order. None of them go together. So I might just sneak this one in.
They really are kind of a similar formula, but they're just so good. Once I start them, I cannot stop reading.
I know. Her books are so good. I love her.
Yeah.
Okay, our buddy read for the month. Buddy read is when Cutter and I just read a book together. It was
at the same time-ish.
Kinda-ish. Actually, we did a pretty good job on this one.
Yeah.
Anyways, this was Pucking Sweet by Emily Rath. This is the third book in the Jacksonville Rays series. We highly suggest the Jacksonville Rays series. I can't say words.
Jacksonville?
That's probably how they say it. They're down in Florida.
Probably.
Anyways, we just love the series and the characters and all the things. So, first of all, I already knew I was going to love the book. I was invested in the story. It's been a while since I've had a book where I felt like I couldn't put it down. I just kept wanting to read it. And I knew that there was a pregnancy trope in this book. It's part of the content warning at the beginning, but I didn't feel like it was the main drama of the book. Like other pregnancy tropes were. So I think I was okay with it a little bit more than I am with other pregnancy tropes that happen. So I still gave it 5 stars because I just love this series and I love them and I love all the things. So
they're the best.
They are the best. What did you think?
I ended up giving this 4 stars only because felt like I couldn't rate it higher than Pucking Around. And for some reason, I rated Pucking Around 4 stars the first time I read it. But I feel like it should be 5 stars. I don't know why I rated it 4 stars. Maybe just because it was super long, but I didn't care that it was that long. I loved it. I just wanted to keep reading it forever. So I don't know. But anyway, you know me, you know that I love a hockey romance, and the Jacksonville Rays series is my favorite hockey romance series. I forgot that there was a pregnancy trope in this book. I don't read content warnings. I just fly blind, but it's brought up in one of the earlier books in the series, and I just had completely forgotten that existed. So when it came up in this book, it threw me off for a second just because I had forgotten about it, but then I was right back into the story. I just wish there was more of Poppy and Colt and Lucas rather than a ton of chapters about her crappy family, because
her family was so many chapters about her.
They were the worst, and I just wanted more of the 3 of them being cute and happy and sweet and working out all of their stuff. And I don't know, I loved the characters so much. I just wanted more of them and less of her family.
Yeah, I would be okay if her family wasn't a part of it at all. I still think the story would have been great.
I agree.
I will say I did have an issue at some point in the book because they just kept talking about granola. So much granola. And I was like, how much granola can you guys eat? The first time she talks to one of the boys, she had just made a fresh batch of granola. And so she gives him some to take home. And then he brings it to hockey the next day and they're eating granola. And then for the rest of the book, it's just they're making it on the side or they packed it in the bag or somebody's passing it around the airplane while they're flying to the next game. And there's just always granola. Every time it would show up, I'd be like, oh, there it is again. Can't have this scene without some granola mentioned. Was that just a me thing, or did you also notice the amount of granola?
I did.
Okay.
They talked about it all the time. And then it was so funny because as soon as I finished this book, I was at the store with John and he bought some granola. He hasn't eaten it in a year, but he happened to buy some and he keeps talking about it. He loves this granola and he can't stop talking about it. He eats it every day.
Why is this a thing?
I don't know. But it just made it even better.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Man, we're flying through this video. The Peach Ring Book Club read. The Peach Ring Book Club is our book club through Patreon. And the read this month was A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. There's Connor's physical copy. So cute. It's a different cover than the audiobook.
Yeah, this is the new cover artwork. There was an original cover and then they redesigned the series because it's a trilogy.
I like that one.
Trilogy.
Nice.
So cute.
I like that cover because you see his cool jacket.
Yeah.
He does have a cool jacket. I really struggled at the beginning of this book. I saw someone's review online. So this is someone else's words, but it was just the first 70% or something like that was 2 stars. The last 30% was 5 stars, so I'm giving it whatever. And I kind of agree with that, only in the sense that the beginning I felt really lost a lot. And there didn't feel like there was a plot happening. But then at the end, it was, I don't know, so epic. And I think it really set up whatever's going to happen in the rest of the series. And I was just okay about it. So I only gave it 3 stars.
I loved it.
That's sign.
I loved it. I gave it 4 stars. I think if I were a person who did half stars, I would give it 4.5, but that's not really how I rate. I usually just do 4 or 5. It wasn't like a full 5 for me, but a lot of the time, if it's the first book in a fantasy series, I can't say a lot of the time. Sometimes there are 5 stars in the first book, but sometimes it is a lot of setup. And so that's kind of how I felt about this one. There definitely was a lot of setup. First of all, what helped for me was that I was listening to audio and I listened to the first 20% in like one sitting. And I was just vibing with the audiobook. I love the narrator. His voice was like so soothing. And it was just, I was just getting ready for work and driving to work. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I loved his accent. It did take a while to like really get into the story and understand like where the book was going.
There's so much world building to build, like to create
Yes.
and like understand
Yes.
what's happening. So
yeah, I think you have to be in the right mood for it. Yeah. Yeah. But once the 2 main characters like met and started interacting, I was hooked and I loved it. So the magic system just seems like it has so much room for nuance and it kept surprising me. And I really loved that. And so I'm really looking forward to continuing this series. I haven't started the second book yet, but I am really excited for the rest of it.
I definitely ended not thinking I would read the rest of the series. Like I was just kind of, okay, I read the book. But then we have book club and we have a live meetup for book club at the end of every month and talking it with everyone and seeing everyone else's thoughts and theories and feelings. It made me want to keep reading it just to see, I don't know, because we like theorized so much and now I want to like know what the truth and you're going to know. And so I have to know if you know. And so I'll probably
and I love when that happens. This was like one of my favorite book club discussions, even though a lot of people had like mixed feelings about it. The whole discussion was just so good. And I loved all of the theorizing and the guessing. And yeah, it was fun. It was a good one. And I love when people leave book club thinking, maybe I like this book more than I thought.
That's kind of like the point of book club, I guess.
Yeah. You enjoy it more when you read it with your friends.
Right. For sure. And we would love for you to join our book club. We discuss these books throughout the month using the Fable app, which allows for like spoiler-free conversations. And we always have a live event at the end of every month to discuss the books in person. So in November, we are reading The X Vows by Jessica Joyce. And we would love for you to join our community and get to know us and the others in our book club a little bit better.
Yes, this never happens. I actually have already started The X Vows. It's not even November yet.
Connor.
I'm usually like the last person in book club to actually start the book. But this month I just started it yesterday while I was driving and I love it. And I'm already like 20% into it. And I can't wait to chat about this one. It's so cute.
Are you going to remember it by the time book club comes around?
Probably not, but I'm taking notes.
Oh, good job. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I already have a bunch of notes in Fable. I'm the only one putting notes in there right now, but
that's okay.
But I'm excited to talk about it. Yeah. So that's it for October. For November, my current reads / November hopefuls include The X Vows for book club. I just started The Ever King on Kindle. That was recommended by Fallon in our Patreon. She loves that book and we've talked about it a lot. And so I finally just started it. It's on Kindle Unlimited. And then Daughter of No Worlds is another one actually that Fallon had recommended. But the Fantasy Fangirls book club is reading it this month. And I've like never been able to attend their book club and I really want to. So I started Daughter of No Worlds on Kindle and audio. And then All Roads Lead to Here by Mariana Zapata because Heather McCleary loves it. And I keep seeing it pop up on my Hoopla. It keeps recommending it to me. So I just borrowed it. I don't know if I'll get there. But also Lights Out by Navessa Allen because I also keep seeing that one everywhere. It's like all over Book Talk and I kind of have FOMO about it. So will I actually read all of these in November? Probably not. Chances are very slim. But those are on my hopefuls list.
Yep.
What about you?
For me, for the last few months in our book club, for Featuring Book Club, we give them 3 options to vote on in Patreon votes. And for the last, I don't know how many months, my book never gets picked. And I feel like I've talked about that in here because I just read them anyways. So this month, the book I wanted to read for a book club but didn't get to, and so now I'm reading it on my own, is The Love of My Afterlife. And it is by Christy Greenwood. And I'm about 40-ish% into this one. It's super cute. I think I'll be done with it in October because we have a couple more days of October left. It's not what I expected. That's for sure.
Oh.
In a good way. Definitely in a good way. But I'm really enjoying it. So I obviously will finish that. And that will probably be another one of my Halloween October reads. The next book on my
Nice.
physical TBR is Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. It's
Yay.
Keeps getting pushed back though, because I keep buying other books and reading them instead, like The Love of My Afterlife sitting right here. So it will hopefully happen one day. And then I sat here for a really long time and tried to come up with other hopefuls. And I was going through my holds and all the things. But I'm such a mood reader in the sense that it could be on my holds list for 20 years, but if I'm not feeling it by the time it's available, I'm just going to put it for another 3 weeks back or whatever. And it just has to match the right moment to be available at my feelings in that exact moment. And then once I have it, I will read it no matter what my feelings are for the rest of that time. It's just the actual borrowing of a book or reading of a book is the mood. So I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to be feeling in November. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll read 1,000 books. Maybe I'll read 2. We'll find out.
Anything could happen. I feel like that's why I have so many on my hopefuls list, because I'm like, all of these sound great, but whenever I finish my next book and I have time, then we'll just see what sounds good.
Yeah. So we took the opposites. You just listed everything and I didn't list anything. So
exactly. Also on our November hopefuls and a brand new release is La Vie de Guinevere by Paula Lafferty. She was kind enough to send us both a signed arc of her book, and we are so excited to read it. And the audiobook is narrated by Julia Whalen, who is my favorite narrator on planet Earth. I love her so much. And so the audiobook is available now on my Audiobrary, which is Julia Whalen's audiobook app. So that's super exciting and it sounds amazing. And we're so excited to read this. So quick shout out to Paula Lafferty. Thank you so much for the arcs.
I'm
so excited.
So excited. And you said John was super excited about this one too?
Yeah. Yeah. John said he really wanted to read this too. He was reading the back of it when we first got it in the mail and he was like, this sounds like my jam.
Nice.
So super fun. For our November anticipated releases, these are just ones that we are personally looking forward to, books that we want to start the series or that we've already started, or if we already love the author. So the first one is November 5th, Lost and Lassoed by Lila Sage comes out. This is book number 3 in the Rebel Blue Ranch series. We haven't started this series yet, but it is high on our TBR. We've seen a ton of people rave about it. The first 2 books are called Done and Dusted and Swift and Saddled. I'm sure you've seen them. The covers are super cute, but it's so a nice cute. Cowboy romance. And this is number 3 in the series. So that's on November 5th.
Yeah, Done and Dusted has been one of those in my holds list that just keeps getting pushed back. It's just not the right time. I have too many others. It will happen. It will happen.
It'll happen.
On November 12th, Under the Mistletoe, a December romance collection is coming out from Amazon. I'm super excited about this. We were just talking about needing some quick novellas to finish out our TBRs. So this is going to be really similar to Amazon's Improbable Meet Cute series that came out in Valentine's Day, where it will be a collection of short stories from different authors exclusively for Kindle Unlimited. So the first 2 are Cruel Winter with You by Ali Hazelwood and Merry Ever After by Tessa Bailey. Both of these will be under 100 pages. So, like I said, perfect to just squeeze in your reading goal right before the end of the calendar year. Also, you can't go wrong with Ali Hazelwood or Tessa Bailey. I know I will be reading these. Super excited.
Yep.
And those come out on November 12th.
I am so excited. And they literally are, one of them's 50 or 60 pages. The other one's nice. 73. They're super short. You could probably read it in one sitting. November 19th, one that I'm personally super excited about is Variation by Rebecca Yarros. First of all, I am obsessed with this book cover. I don't know what it is. I'm just I can't stop staring at it. It's gorgeous. I love whenever it comes up on my feed. So I'm super excited to read it. It's described as a new contemporary romance about the summer a celebrated dancer returns home and unearths years of family secrets and deep regrets with the Coast Guard rescue swimmer she never forgot.
Okay. Rebecca's,
I know, she's so good at writing these contemporary romance novels that just have layers of just complex characters and mystery and these little reveals. And I love that this is family secrets. It's gonna be so good. I'm so excited.
I feel like anything she does is so good.
Yeah,
I just love her.
Yes.
And then the last one we have here, also on November 19th, is The Songbird and the Heart of Stone by Carissa Broadbent. This is book number 3 in the Crowns of Nyaxia series. This is one that Connor and I have continuously talked about reading and starting, but have not. It's part of the Serpent and the Wings of Night. That's the first one. That's the most popular one I feel like that I see like all the time.
Yeah.
And all I know about it is that there's vampires. And so I'm invested.
Yep.
I'm here for it. That's all I know about this series. So I plan to read it. I'm very excited. And it's one of those two that there's so many series that I'm reading right now and I'm just like sitting around waiting for the next one. So when there's like good series out that I'm not currently sitting there waiting for, it's like, okay, good. Another book is out. So when I'm ready to start it, I can just knock them all out and catch up and not have to wait years kind of a thing. So that's kind of what's happening for this one for me.
Yeah.
Letting it cook for a little bit. I'll be there soon.
Let her simmer.
Okay, well, thank you so much for watching our video and just being here with us and being part of our community and our friend. You can follow us on GoodReads and StoryGraphs from our links page below. We also are much more active on Instagram and TikTok at Between Pages and Friends. So if you're not following us there, you totally should. You can also shop our super cute merch on our website. We just dropped all new merch related to the podcast and all the things. So first of all, listen to the podcast. Second of all, check out our new merch. It's super cute and I love it. And Connor designed it all because she's super talented and beautiful. And you should go take a look at it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's the truth.
I love this new merch. We're still waiting to get most of ours in the mail. All I have right now is this cup and I am obsessed with it. It looks so good. It looks so good. I'm so excited.
Tomorrow. I cannot wait.
Well, our monthly reading wrap-ups are posted here on YouTube every month, and our podcast is posted weekly. Thank you for all of your support, and as always, for reading with us. We love you.
Yes, we love you so much. Before we leave, we want to do a quick shout out to all of our Patreon members. We literally could not be here without them. They make our day and bring us all happiness and joy and friendship
and fill up our TBR
community. TBRs. And we love them and they're the best and their names are still scrolling and I'm just going to keep talking about how great they are. Oh, and look at that name right there. You. Oh, I love that person. And yeah. Remember that time
what a guy.
This person said that thing? So funny. Loved that. Anyone who's not in Discord with these friends are really missing out.
Really missing out. Best book club in the land.
Yes. You should join us. How could you not when this person's in it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, and this one.